Hey y'all, as promised, I came on just to talk to you, answer a couple questions, and just kind of speak my truth. I made a couple of notes just so I can kind of stay on target and answer your questions. This all came to the light when I saw my cousin Dietrich Haddon and his wife Dominique's Facebook Live where they were talking about family issues. Now, Dietrich is my first cousin. His mother and my father are siblings. I don't know if you guys had a chance to see that video when I posted. It was about, I want to say, early March. And just let me know if you've seen that video or if you haven't seen that video and you'd like for me to do a review of that video and just kind of tell you guys what triggered me in that video and what made me want to speak up at that moment about cutting my father off. And I can give you guys just some of the backstory with, kind of like in line with what Dietrich and his wife were talking about in that video. So just let me know if you'd like for me to do a review of that video. Anyway, so I was just thinking today, as I do like most Sundays, about how much I miss church. I was the praise team leader at my father's church, and it just really seems like I was kind of born with a microphone in my hand. My father always called me his little songbird, and I was always serving in some capacity in the church, but most of the time I was the choir director or the praise team leader, but I wasn't really that much into choir directing. I really liked doing praise team leading more than anything. I just feel like I'm a worshiper at my core. But anyway, so as they were reminiscing about older songs in those in the video where my cousin was Didi was doing his Facebook Live, he was singing like a whole bunch of old songs. And what's crazy is that I was like, when he was talking and when he was singing some of those old songs, I was like, oh my God, do outpour. That was like one of our favorite songs. In fact, we used to sing that song like probably once a month, no exaggeration, and we never got tired of it. Like, when you sing the same church songs over and over again, and trust me, we saw some over and over again that we were very, very tired of, but that wasn't one of them. That was a song that just always brought the spirit down. And I would medley that one with, and it went, we need an outpour of your spirits. And then we would, after we sung that part, send it down, we need it, Lord. And then we would, go into, I just can't give up now. I've come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me the road would be easy, and I don't believe he brought me this far to leave me. Oh my God, y'all, when I tell y'all, those songs took us there, and I miss it so much. I miss that part of it. I miss the praise and the worship. Gosh, I miss it so much. But anyway, let me stay on track. So we left in 2019. In August of 2019, we left my father's church. As a matter of fact, I haven't really even sang since then. That's why I sound a little bit like a frog. But I haven't really sang it since then. And honestly, I hadn't even stepped foot back in the church. And for a while, when we first left, my husband and I, we felt guilty. We were like, okay, we left in August. We were like, well, let's just give ourselves a couple months, and then, we'll start looking for another church home. And then the new year hit, and, we were like, okay, well, let's go ahead and find us a place. But we just did not feel comfortable. It was something about finding a new church home that just, from the things that happened in our previous when we were hurt. We were church hurt, in a lot of ways, and we just couldn't do it. We just couldn't find another church. And then what's crazy is that we were feeling so guilty about it. And I don't know if you guys are like that, like you kind of grew up in a church your whole life and you stop going and it's like, man, I feel so out of place. And so, like just my spirit isn't like in tune the way it should be. It's like, it's something that we kind of have been conditioned to think that we need to be in a church building. But COVID happened, right? And then all the churches shut down, and then it was like, God kind of like gave us all an alibi, and not only that, but we started to see there's been a lot of stuff going on in these churches, and 2020 is like letting us see a lot of things that's been going on. And what's weird is like when we left in 2019, we used to chant, and every time I say 2019, I think about this chant that we used to do. We used to say, every seat filled in 2019. I also did the announcements at the end of service, so I was told to like, when I said the date, every time we said, well, whatever the date was, like for instance, the day I left was August 25th, 2019, and I would say, it's August 25th, 2019. And everyone would say, every seat filled, and it was like 2019, every seat filled. And that was our chant. And that was something that we all were supposed to be working towards. It's like building the ministry, basically putting bodies in the seat, at the end of the day. But I hadn't completely like bought into the idea of bringing more people to church. I mean, I said the chant just like everybody else, but it was something that just didn't feel right about it. And I just didn't want to bring anyone else into that. So, but what ended up happening is the exact opposite happened, right? Like, we would say every seat filled in 2019, but what happened was a lot of seats emptied in, starting in 2019. When we left, it ended up being a domino effect, and a lot of people subsequently started leaving. Now, the thing about a spiritual narcissist is, right, they'll falsely identify with Bible characters. They will put themselves on the very cross that Jesus was crucified on, right? And they play this virtuous victim role that makes you off guard, right? Puts you off guard and makes you not question their actions, makes you not question anything, right? Then they'll top it off and gaslight you with phrases like, touch not my anointed, or do my prophets no harm, right? Which is taken out of context. But it further distracts you from looking at and judging the things that they're doing, right? The things that you know aren't right. And the role itself gives spiritual leaders, unquestioned access to every part of your life, to your finances, to your family issues, to the decisions you make, to your kids. Spiritual leaders are given an extreme amount of access. But when you have a narcissistic spiritual leader, that access it could devastate you, right? And so let me move on to my other notes. Move on to my other page of notes. But one thing I wanted to say is, like, in conjunction with spiritual narcissists falsely identifying with Bible characters, is my father will more than likely say that he is going through a Jobal experience, right? Where Job was being tested by God and he started to lose everything, and things started happening to his body, and even his wife, suggested that he curse God and die, and all of these things started happening to him. But he was such a righteous and such a dedicated person to God. But that's not the same thing. That is not the same thing that, at least in my opinion, it's not the same thing that my father is going through. What my father is going through is his karma. What he is experiencing is the people who were around him who were deceived and who believed for so long that he was working towards being better, that the life he preached was actually the life he lived. But it just wasn't the case. What happened was we woke up and we started to see that he was a wolf in sheep's clothing, right? He was a Bible bully, a pulpit pimp. And it was literally making me sick to my stomach. And you know what? I don't want these videos to be super long. But let me just end this video here, right? Spiritual narcissism happens often. Churches, synagogues, temples, mosques, whatever you want to say, wherever the corner, wherever they decide to set up shop, right? The clergy is infested with spiritual narcissists. The church is infected with spiritual narcissists. I heard a YouTuber say that 90% of pastors are narcissistic and abusive. And up until now, our hands have been tied when it comes to speaking out about this, right? It's like we've been, like, there's invisible holy handcuffs, or like some type of sanctified silencing, or and it's just like when someone bucks the system, when someone finally is like, I can't take it, I'm speaking up, then they are ostracized and excommunicated and removed from the church. I have seen my father completely demolish a person's character in one sermon in front of them. And they knew, and we all knew who he was talking about. That's the power and the destruction a spiritual narcissist can cause. But I'm speaking up now because I don't really have anything to lose, right? Like, whatever my father says about me is not really going to affect my livelihood. It doesn't affect my life at all, other than my emotional health, or just the simple fact that my own father is smearing my name, is telling people that I'm an addict, or that I have physical and mental health issues, right? But whatever he says about me is really only a reflection of himself. He was my father, my spiritual and my natural father. And I'm his daughter. And whatever issues I seem to have, or that he claims that I have, you can say they're daddy issues. He bears some responsibility in his own smear campaign of me. So, like I said to end this video, and don't let me get to talking like some of these Southern Baptist preachers, and they say, in my closing, but it's like an hour later and they still haven't closed. It's like I closed my Bible, but they're still talking. But let me end with this note here on this video. He can say she needs counseling. She's upset with me because of childhood issues, right? But I'm already in counseling. In fact, I'm a nationally certified counselor. He can say that I have addictions. I have mental health issues. I have physical health issues. And I say, he can say, but he has said that I have addictions and mental health issues and physical issues. And he's right. I do. In fact, my mental health issues and physical health issues were bad enough that I was medically retired from the Army. I have been married 4 times. I take medication for my mental health issues. I have fibromyalgia. I have lupus. It's not full blown, but it's there. I have depression and anxiety. I drink. I smoke. Mostly for medical issues, but I do enjoy it as well. I'm not the perfect mother, but I'm transparent, I'm honest, and I'm loving. I've broken hearts by not knowing how to choose a man properly and not knowing how to love properly. But I did the work, and I was blessed with my forever husband, who is loving and supportive and who is encouraging me to tell my truth. So, this is me. What more can he say? I am the daughter of a narcissistic pastor. That's my reality, and this is my truth. All right. Bye-bye for now.